The clock is ticking. With just 2 weeks left in the summer transfer window, the next 24 hours could decide one of the biggest Premier League sagas. Liverpool break the bank to land Alexander Isak from Newcastle. There are 2 weeks left in the summer window, but the next 24 hours could be key to settling one of the last remaining Premier League transfer sagas. Liverpool have been pushing to bring Alexander Isak to Anfield from Newcastle, already seeing one bid knocked back, but now it's about Newcastle's own transfer plans as the Magpies chase a replacement. If Liverpool are to land Isak, they may well need to spend more than the £116 million Premier League record, which convinced Bayer Leverkusen to part ways with Florian Wirtz. Newcastle left Isak out of their squad to face Aston Villa on Saturday, amid indications he has refused to play for the club. But a goalless draw reinforced their need for a goal scorer, whether that means keeping the Swede or spending big to make up for losing last season's top scorer. Brentford frontman Jon Wisser is one of those being eyed by Eddie Howe's side, and he too sat out the weekend's action. Earlier in the window, it looked as though a £35 million bid might be enough to land the Congolese international. But the Mail reports that the asking price has climbed to at least £50 million. Newcastle could end the window with two new strikers, having already allowed Callum Wilson to leave for nothing. Goncalo Ramos, who scored for Paris Saint-Germain in the Super Cup, is another option. The Wisser deal is believed to be the one on which Isak's future hinges, though. The same publication indicates that a failure to land the 28-year-old would make it more likely that Isak stays at St James Park, with the next 24 hours seen as crucial. It's a difficult one to answer, Newcastle boss Eddie Howe told TNT Sports when asked about the Isak situation. I hope it's resolved quickly, because it's news around us all the time. Players have managed to shut that out and perform. We have to continue to do that. We have to cope without the narrative against us. Newcastle's next game just so happens to come at home to Liverpool. It's always spicy against Liverpool. There's a history to the fixture. We look forward to it. We know how good they are, Howe added. Arne Slot's title holders showed few signs of needing more in attack when they beat Bournemouth on Friday, with 4 different players finding the net. There's still a gap in the squad though, with Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez both completing summer exits to help the Reds raise funds for a potential Isak swoop. Federico Chiesa was one of the 4 scorers on Friday, grabbing his first Premier League goal, and Slot suggested the Italian is going nowhere despite talk of a summer exit. As long as he is here, he is definitely at Liverpool, and I have no reason to believe something is going to change, the manager said. Anfield was filled with emotion as Liverpool paid a powerful tribute to Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva ahead of the Premier League opener against Bournemouth. Fans unveiled a breathtaking mosaic, a banner of love for Jota's family, and the players wore a special Forever 20 emblem on their shirts, a number now retired by the club. The football world stood united in grief, with rival clubs also showing their respect as the Reds promised Jota's family they will never walk alone. Anfield paid an emotional tribute to Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva ahead of Liverpool's first game of the Premier League season against Bournemouth. The tragic star's wife and children were welcomed on Merseyside as the Reds played their first league game since the tragic death of the forward. Jota, along with his brother, died in a car crash just days after the star was married to long-term partner Ruta Cardoso. Fans unfurled a tifo in tribute to both men, while some on the Kop held a banner reading Ruud, Dinis, Duarte, Matilda Anfield will always be your home. You'll never walk alone. Premier League champions Liverpool have already paid a number of tributes in pre-season. Fans paid tribute themselves 20 minutes into the Community Shield at Wembley, in honour of Jota's squad number. Ahead of tonight's first game of the new Premier League season, there will be fan-led tribute to Diogo and his brother Andre, with a special mosaic shown in the Kop and the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand, the club said in the lead-up to the game. This will be unveiled by fans during a period of silence prior to kick-off against AFC Bournemouth. Players will display their own tribute with a specially made Forever 20 emblem printed into their shirts and stadium jackets, which will remain in place for the season, the statement added. Liverpool announced in July that Jota's number 20 shirt would be retired by the club. It is important that, as a club, we show that they will always have our love and support, as they deal with this most tragic of situations. "We are there for them always," Reds boss Arne Slot said in his programme notes. The football world has been in mourning ever since Jota and Silva died, and tributes have come from far and wide. In the lead up to the start of the season, Liverpool's Premier League rivals Chelsea confirmed they would make a donation to the footballers' family from their Club World Cup winnings, while Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola also acknowledged the situation. "It's a big test for us, and in the beginning it's going to be emotional, with the passing of Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva," he said in his pre-match press conference. "But we will focus on our job, try and create some chances, keep believing, and give them a hard game. Let's try to go there and give them a surprise. There will be a moment's silence held at all Premier League grounds this weekend. Players around the country will also wear black armbands in memory of Jota and Silva." Liverpool go into the new season with a strengthened squad, having spent more than £200 million to bring the likes of Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike, and former Bournemouth defender Milos Kerkez to Anfield. They confirmed another new signing on Friday, with Giovanni Leone's arrival from Parma announced just hours before kickoff at Anfield. Opponents Bournemouth have a new look backline, with Dean Huijsen and Zabarni leaving along with Kerkez. They confirmed the arrival of centre-back Bafode Diakite 2 days before the Liverpool game, with the former Lille star becoming the second most expensive signing in their history. Liverpool may have been one of the busiest Premier League clubs this summer, but Arne Slot isn't done yet. Giovanni Leone is on the verge of sealing a £35 million switch from Parma. Alexander Isak is refusing to play for Newcastle in a bid to force a move to Anfield, and Mark Guehi's name just won't go away. As the Reds prepare to face Bournemouth in their Premier League opener, the transfer drama is far from over. Liverpool are continuing their work in the transfer window, despite being one of the Premier League's busier clubs this summer. The Reds appear to still have their eyes on 3 more players before the market is shut. Arne Slot's side are nearing a complete deal for Parma defender Giovanni Leone. The 18-year-old is highly regarded and is set to enter the Dutchman's squad. Transfers for Alexander Isak and Mark Guehi remain less certain, with little over 2 weeks remaining to get their signatures over the line. Guehi could yet arrive for free in 12 months' time, while the 3 years remaining on Isak's contract has ensured Newcastle have not easily caved. The Reds take on Bournemouth to kickstart the Premier League on Friday, however, and will have no faces on show. The likes of Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong could make their debuts in the division. With that said, Mirror Football takes a look at the latest transfer news and rumours surrounding Anfield. Arne Slot kept it coy on the possibility of transfers for Giovanni Leone and Mark Guehi. The former is set to arrive at Anfield in a £35 million deal, but the Dutchman would not give much away on the Italian's arrival. The clubs have agreed a deal, but he isn't signed for as yet. "The moment he does, I can go into more detail," Slot said as he previewed Liverpool's game with Bournemouth, and Slot pointed reporters in the direction of Oliver Glasner for any questions on Crystal Palace defender Guehi. "He's not our player," said the coach. "Unfortunately, he was the captain of the team who we lost to last Sunday. If you want to have any talks about him, you should go to Palace and manager Oliver Glasner and ask him about it," Slot said. Liverpool targets Alexander Isak faces a fine from Newcastle, as he is set to miss their opening game of the Premier League season against Aston Villa. The Swede's refusal to feature for the Magpies comes as he attempts to force a move to Liverpool. Isak has claimed he will not play for Newcastle again, and it is that stance that could see the 25-year-old in trouble. The star striker has so far continued to receive his £140,000 a week wages amidst the standoff. Mail Online report: Newcastle's stance will change once Isak misses a competitive match, and discipline will then arrive. Isak's position, meanwhile, is reported to be firm to avoid encouraging the club to believe a truce can be achieved that would kill any prospect of a transfer. Midfielder Luca Stevenson has signed a new contract with Liverpool before immediately joining Dundee United on a season-long loan for the second term in succession. The 21-year-old impressed with the side and won their Young Player of the Season award in 2024/25. Dundee United manager Jim Goodwin said, "We're absolutely thrilled to welcome Luca back to Tannadice. He made a tremendous impact last season, not just in terms of performances, but in the mentality and energy he brought to the group every single day.